Let's Go 360, man. I'm super excited to share with you. This is Nifeliz's newest set. This right here is their Turbofan Engine, and I gotta say, when I heard that they're coming out with this, I was stoked. A little bit about me: before I joined the Air Force, I went out and I got my license as an airplane mechanic. I got my A&P certifications, airframe and power plant, and so of course when I heard that they're making a Turbofan engine, which was one of my favorite things to learn about and also be able to work on. So I can't wait to share this with you, and as I build it, kind of see how kind of realistic is it to the real thing. Anyway, let's go ahead, let's open this box up and see what's inside. Go ahead, I'll put this right over here. So first off, we got this big, beautiful booklet, front, book showing the components inside. Let's go ahead, go to the very front. One thing I do always love with Nifeliz is the illustrations in these books, in color, very high definition, gives detail what's going on, just really cool. Now let's just turn page back into some of the building. Let's not go too deep. Let's just go like that here. One thing I do like is even though the pages are big, they don't put a bunch of stuff on there to kind of make it more challenging to follow. Like right here, you can see this has, basically two pieces. 4 of these, 1 of those. And the thing I like is the piece that you're putting together. It shows you right here how to do it, and then the arrow coming across, and then it's always in red, and then also in red of the thing showing where it goes. So very simple, easy to follow. And then another cool thing that I like, I guess people were probably saying, man, we get lost in these giant booklets as far as where I was at. So what did Nifeliz do? They gave us a bookmark. And it even says Nifeliz bookmark. Kind of funny and cool at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right over here. And the bags, well, they come in a bigger bag. So I go down here, I open it up. I can grab one out of here. As you can see, this is bag 5. And what I like to do is I'll take all the bag 5s out if when you're starting at bag 1s, of course. And then I open every single one of them and I sort out all the pieces and I put them in colors across and like ones together in a group. And then that way, when you go to build, you know exactly where your stuff is located. And for me, it just makes it much easier and more enjoyable as well to build it rather than like stress, like, man, where's all these pieces and digging through a bunch of stuff. I've decided that I'm going to build 2 sets at a time. So I'm going to do, sets 1 and 2, and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to do a video as the progression of those 2 bags. And then I'm going to do the next, 2, 3, and 4, and I'll stop and I'll do another video. And depending on how many bags are total, of course, depending on how many videos I have. And so it's just going to be really cool to be able to share the progression with you, and that you'll be able to see how it looks as it's coming together. And I'll also be able to kind of stop and explain certain components of the Turbofan engine. You can see we've completed bags 1 and 2, and this is how it's looking so far. Since this right here will be the front of the Turbofan, and right here will be the back of it, but since we don't have them yet, I'm not going to explain or talk anything about it. But what we have so far is we have kind of center section, which is of course the most important section because that's where most of the work is happening. So at first, as you can I'll just kind of show you, I love the chrome. You can see how it spins, and this big ring here also rotates. Go ahead and give kind of a 360 turn-around view of it. Other cool thing is this hatch lifts up so you can see inside as that shuts down. But anyway, so what we have right here is you have this area right here would be the compression section of the turbofan. Just how it sounds, it compresses the air as it comes in. It increases its temperature and pressure through small fixed blades. So that's why it's awesome. It's got these kind of like small fixed blades. And then as it goes in, it would go into the combustion chain. So then here you're going to have fuel injectors. So it's going to have the fuel mixing with the hot air, but it's also going to have the igniters. So of course it's going to ignite it and create the flame to come back. And this right here, these are the turbine blades. and then the turbine blades will then spin faster depending on how much combustion you're coming through to come out. And the cool thing is on the real turbofans, the turbine is connected through everything on a single shaft, and so the turbine actually drives the compression section and then the combustion, the turbine, so it can self kind of regulate. I can't wait to see what bags 3 and 4 bring to it. Alrighty, as you can see, we have completed the turbofan. I know we mentioned we wilted the bag, but with the kiddos, we all decided that there really wasn't much left to do with the turbofan. All the components of the core were already done, so you can see, you know, the core is made up of, you got the compressors, the combustion chamber, and then back here you got the turbines. That's the core, and you can talk about like that a few different times. And if you wonder the difference between the turbofan and a turbojet engine, basically the only difference is if you take this front section off, you'll have a turbojet engine. However, you know, in those you'll see military aircraft, private jets, and some other things like that. But when you see the big commercial airplanes, you'll see them and they will have a turbofan engine. And there's another thing that's very important for those, and the reason they go with it is there's a thing called bypass air. Bypass air, which doesn't go into the core, it bypasses, you know, into the cowling, you know, so that would be kind of like up into this area here, and then like, you know, it just bypasses the whole core. And it's really important for that because it helps to cool the systems as it's going, but as the air is coming out the back, it also helps to quiet it. So the cold air coming around the hot air helps it creates more thrust also, but it also helps to quiet the engine down as well. So it's kind of like a dampener off the back end of it. But anyways, so here you have the turbofan completed. You do have this right here. You can spin. It spins everything. I'll turn it around. So you can see right there the big fan spins, the low pressure compressors, the high pressure compressor, into the combustion chamber, and then into the turbines, and then out through the nozzle this way, because these doors right here, you know, that piece opens up so you can see it. This one right here in the middle, you know, so you got kind of the dials and stuff like that. You know, this big one here opens up as well. There you have it though. You have this amazing turbofan from Nifeliz. It's beautiful, all the chrome, you know, all the piping that goes onto it. So anyways, again, Nifeliz, thank you for such an amazing set. And I mean, this thing is right on realistic with the real thing. And I can't wait to see what you guys come out with next. And as always, veterans, stay safe, stay healthy, get your building on. It's very therapeutic. It will definitely help you get your mind off of whatever ails you. And I can't wait, you know, leave comments, let me know how you're doing. If there's anything else I can change in my videos, I'd really appreciate it. And take care.